Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 462. I'm one of your hosts, Gamecast, joined by Corey Feinsod.
Yay, I'm here.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Woohoo!
What's up, guys? Mike's still installing Windows updates.
Video!
Yeah, we have videos. We have video, and Mike is still installing something now. I don't know. But if you heard the movie cast...
Mike is the worst with technology. The worst.
Although I've been the culprit with my computer crashing. And
No, that's like one thing.
Yeah.
That's a defect. Like, that was beyond your control.
Yep.
This is just, dude, like, why are you touching things?
My update's waiting to be installed until tonight. I'll go to sleep, it will install. So, anyways, so welcome to 462, listeners and viewers. We have a great topic. I forgot to mention the topic last on the movie cast, but we talked about it anyways. We're going to talk about reviews on games and how relevant they are nowadays. We've had kind of a similar topic with our streamers, and I'm sure we'll merge a similar conversation here about this, but we're going to get into that. Hopefully Mike will join us during this episode. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath, but let's get rolling. Kicking off what we've been up to. I mean, I've been playing just Fire Emblem, and it's been a busy week at work, so I haven't gotten as far as I want, and I'm only on chapter 9, and it's frustrating because I want to be further. But I have done a lot of paralog battles. I've strategically rested at a certain day because I told you guys I wasted my sword, which I'm not going to do again. The paralog stuff has really started to level up my characters to the point where, like, these chapters, like, I didn't just do, but like that chapter 8 battle was like stupidly easy. In fact, I considered going after the Death Knight because I was like, I could take him possibly, and I'm like, I'm sure the game wouldn't like this, but
You just auto battle now?
oh my god, Mike's popping up. So I don't auto battle. No, I just I still control it. I can auto battle. I didn't even think about that. No, I don't trust it. I don't trust that. I want control. So, but I did get to an interesting point in the game, an interesting choice in the game that I feel like I should have made a different choice, but I chose the regular choice. Yeah.
You chose poorly.
Like, I made the choice, and I'm like, I don't want to make this choice. I think I'm intrigued by this other choice, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to make this choice. Because I'm like,
I'm curious to which choice you're talking about.
Yeah.
Corey, are you this far yet or no?
I'm on 7 right now.
Okay. There's an interesting choice in the game about involving stuff, but yeah, I'll have to text you, message you, Tony.
About a competition or something? Or?
Okay. I don't even know how the conversation would have gone had I made the other answer, actually, but...
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool.
I don't even know if I was allowed to do what the question was. I don't know if both.
Did it do the thing where it's like the answer to this question will drastically change the rest of the game?
No, it didn't actually.
Okay,
so I wait for that.
It
but it was there. Like, it could have. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I missed it. But
yeah, maybe
there's a question.
You know, because like it's kind of like a Persona thing where like it appears as time stops and you hear like the heartbeat noise, like the dum bump. Where it's like, like serious,
okay.
like kind of thing.
Something's going on here.
I definitely didn't have that, but this question was there. It was the similar thing. Like, in my mind, this would have drastically changed the game. So I don't know, but chapter 9's. I'm moving along. I'm almost at the main quest for that. So I'm on the 3rd week in chapter 9.
So close. You're so close. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I've literally been waiting to talk to people about this. Like.
So
the other friend that like she's really into Fire Emblem, like totally just stopped because she started playing Astral Chain, which I'll get into. But I'm like, God damn it, Crystal! I'm like, play Fire Emblem, like, please, for the love of God,
somebody save me.
Yeah, I gotta get through it. Sorry, I'll be playing more. My Switch is actually at my office because I'm like, I intend to actually take breaks tomorrow and actually play it a little bit. So. But yeah, so that's really it for me, though.
Yes, I played a little bit of that too. I was trying to play a little more, but I just haven't been able to.
That's the frustrating part because like Gears is coming out so fast, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah, 3 days.
So yeah,
3 days.
Because we get it early with Ultimate Game Pass. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
So and then Sunday's opening day.
You do too, Tony.
Sunday's opening day, Corey. We really can't play it Sunday. So I got football all day Sunday. So.
And Mike's here, so like.
Oh, Mike, welcome. You finally joined us. How are those Windows updates?
I thought something that would take like 10, 15 minutes took an hour and a half.
Hey, turn your volume up a little bit so we make sure you get good recording here. There you go.
Volume's all the way up, I guess.
Okay.
But
Gotta get that mic close. That's how it usually goes with Windows updates. So
yeah,
they're the worst.
Anyways, so Tony, what have you been up to? We'll get to Mike in a second.
I've been playing Astral Chain because.
Oh yeah, good. I talked to you about this. I talked about this weekend a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Nintendo's like, yeah, we rested that first half of the year, but now it's like you're gonna just be bombarded with games, and it's just like fucking. What was it? Super Mario Maker into Ultimate Alliance 3, into Fire Emblem, into Astral Chain, into Link's Awakening. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude! Like, why couldn't you spread this out a little bit more than this? But Astral Chain is fucking crazy. It's off the hook, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Pun intended?
Oh, fully intended. Like, that's the kind of game this is. Like, it just knows what it's doing, and it just embraces it. I'm just trying to think of the most accurate way I can describe it. Like, if you watch any, like, late 80s, early 90s, like, Japanese cyberpunk police anime, like, this is it. Like, this is 100% what it would be, because it's about, like, a specialized police unit squad that, deals with these, like, ethereal demonic beings from, like, another dimension that are, like, fucking up people in the real world. And because they keep coming to the world, like, they're leaking, like, corrupted data, which turns other people into monsters. So your unit is tasked with, like, defending, like, civilians from this kind of stuff from happening. And I mean, the game starts off so awesome too, because it's just like you're on, like, this bike right away, and, like, there's this awesome, like, just bike vehicle, like, action sequence, and it's just like, all right, this is a pretty awesome, like, introduction tutorial, whatever you want to call it, stage, and it gets right into it. But the combat is really awesome. Not sure if you knew, but so unlike traditional games like Bayonetta for Platinum, they're like, look, we're just going for 30 FPS. We're aiming for locked 30 FPS. And it hits that almost all the time, so it doesn't fluctuate much. So combat isn't as fast or fluid as Bayonetta, but because of that, I feel like it's a bit more, what would I say, nuanced in that you're like...
Tactical or...
Yeah, it's tactical. It's more tactical than Bayonetta is, because Bayonetta is a lot about reflexes and reactions, whereas this one is more about positioning and, like, a strategy, because you have these different... The mechanic behind it is really cool. So the story goes, and this is all within, like, the first 30 minutes of the game, so I'm not spoiling really anything, but humanity has learned how to pretty much put these devices on the demonic beings to liberate them from the demonic stuff, aka, like, enslave them to humanity, so that now you throw this, like, collar on, like, a demonic thing, and now it's, like, yours to command and stuff like that, and they call them legions. So there's different types, like a sword, archer, armor, beast, and something else. And each character is assigned a different one and stuff like that. And so it's really cool because, like, your character can obviously do stuff, but then the legion that you're equipped with, you can summon them, like, at will, pretty much, and they just kind of do their own thing. And, like, you could do, like, little auto attack and auto combo stuff, but then you can activate certain abilities, and I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, you just watch a video, like, watch a Let's Play, and it's just like, it's so satisfying to, like, watch, even if you're not good at the game. Just, like, it's very, like, flashy and cool. Like,
I'm getting this game. There's, like, zero doubt in my mind. I'm absolutely 100% getting this game. It's just a matter of when I'm going to get it. It's just, I'm getting this game, though. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah. And it's really awesome because not only that, like, it definitely, you could tell that the person who did this worked on Nier Automata, because they take a bit from that where there's more story bits, and there's, like, quests that you can do that normally they don't exist in, like, Bayonetta or something like that. But in addition to that, like, they break up the gameplay a little bit too, because whereas, like, Bayonetta is, like, pretty much it's all action from start to finish, like, for 15, 20 hours, whatever it is. So this, it's kind of cool because, like, you have your hub, which is the police station, and that's, you can talk to your fellow officers, do some quests, because they'll they have stuff they want you to do for them and whatnot. You do your typical RPG stuff with equipment, upgrades, all that whatnot. But then when like the main missions happen, you go out into like the city and they'll be like, hey, you have a mystery to solve. Like we got a report of like a sighting here. So you have to go and talk to civilians and like do things with them to tell them like to get them to give you clues. And then at the end, like once you've gathered enough clues, like you have to answer this question. It's like kind of like a detective. They're like, okay, so the victim was seen around what time? And it's like you have to select from the prompt like the correct answer and so on and so forth. And you get like bonuses on that. So it's really cool. It's a bit Batman-y, I guess, and like the Arkham thing, because there is a mode where like you press the start button and it has this like overlay they call the iris, which is pretty much detective mode where like you could see things in a different like hue, and like specific objects will glow like orange for you to investigate and whatnot. And it's kind of cool too, where like because it's futuristic, it's cyberpunk. Well, they'll like be like, all right, we have this camera footage, so you could see like a time lapse of like the one mission is like this drone was doing patrol over here and it got shot and it crashed over here. So it's like at what point did the angle of the shot and all that kind of stuff you have to figure out. So it's really cool. It's not just like pure 100% action all the time. It's like
you gotta break up that gotta have those moments where you're doing other things.
Yeah, downtime and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Nice. All right, Mike, what have you been up to?
Mostly... That was Astral Chain, just so.
That was Astral Chain. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Mostly I've been up to a little more Ultimate Alliance.
Right, something came out since the last time we spoke, I think.
What was it since last time?
Yeah, it was the 30th.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, yeah, no, so Cyclops and Colossus came out, and along with that was a bunch of new Infinity Rift challenges and some costumes you could unlock. And I was
actual
looking for
costumes.
Yes, you've got Planet Hulk, you've got Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, you've got Symbiote Spider-Man, and I don't
know. Those three.
That was it, yeah. And then you also have alternates for Colossus and Cyclops to unlock as well. So you get a slightly smaller, but still pretty substantial, I think, for a free update, Infinity Rift, where you have more challenges to do. And turns out it's good because Cyclops and Colossus, I think, are two of the better characters in the game. So I grinded away, I don't know the past tense situation. And they're both... I leveled them both up to 100 already. Cyclops is great because he's got this it's one of his optic blast move that you can hold down. He can run around with it, and he can just stream damage across the play area without really stopping. And he can dodge in and out. I mean, he does lose energy gradually, but if you level that stuff up, it takes a while, and everyone else can just do synergies off it. It's one of the more
broken.
That sounds pretty broken.
It works really well when you're trying to farm new characters, actually, too, because you can do a certain kill as many people as you can before the time expires type trials, and you can just use him and level up everyone else because they synergize with him while he's just shooting and dodging all the time. All of this said, the Captain Marvel costume and the Symbiote Spider-Man costume might as well not be in the game.
What?
Because it is impossible to unlock them.
Really?
Yes.
I would like to quote the Discord from Mike on this one, like a day or two before this DLC released. It was like, I hope you actually have to unlock these costumes. They don't just like give them to you for like straight up from losing the game.
And they did. But this one...
What do you have to do?
There's a level 90 boss rush here, and if you got familiar with this game, you know that you pretty much need to be over-leveled by at least 10 to do anything in this game. And I've had 4 level 100 characters go in there, decent ISO 8 equipped, like, a lot of rainbow, like AA ISO 8s, and I can't get halfway through it. And there's like 10 bosses you gotta beat, and I mean, eventually I've got to like the 7th or so, and I don't have my, and then I watched someone on YouTube do it. And he has the entire web of alliance enhancements, all those other buffs in general. He has that all maxed out, so he has 4 ISO 8 slots. He has them all filled with Rainbow AA ISO 8. And he just barely got the 3rd star, which you need all of the stars in the new Infinity trial to unlock the symbiote Spider-Man thing. You just need to beat this last one to get the Miss Marvel thing, but to do both, you got to do it all. And he just did it by the skin of his teeth, because one of the star requirements is no more than 2 incapacitations and do it under 10 minutes. And he had like the 3rd incapacitation with like a sliver of health left when he beat it, and he had everything maxed out.
Interesting.
So
that's gonna get nerfed.
Maybe, but yeah. So I don't know. Like Captain Marvel suit, maybe it's possible. Although you probably need to buff. I beat the game 3 times too, mind you.
I'm not getting to that point.
So, and yeah, there's still things I need to unlock. I didn't really realize.
Sounds like they're giving you like stuff to do though, Mike. Sounds like you got exactly what you're looking for.
I do like that. That is my goal right now. And
I guess the thing is, do you want them to nerf it, or do you like say like, no, I don't want them to nerf it because I want to like when you display that symbiote Spider-Man, like people know you've done some shit.
Yeah, you've been through.
If I do get all the alliance enhancement slots and then level everything up and do everything I can do, and then it's still impossible, then I'm like, all right. But until then, I guess I want to have it as a goal.
People are getting it though. Like people are getting it right now. So I'm just saying. Like for me, I think I don't have a problem with like things that are too difficult for me. Like when it comes to like rewards, like I want to see someone get that and be like, oh shit, that I want to try to get that. And if I can't get it, I can't get it. Like it makes that the thing you have worth something. It makes it valuable.
And it's good, and it actually makes me want to like, understand all of the sort of minutia of the ISO 8 and all that stuff a little more. If I had another game out like you guys do, though, I probably would have moved on.
Yeah, but, well, I hear you. Like the thing, like because Destiny has things that are called pinnacle weapons, and some of them like are just ridiculous. Like they're really hard to get, and then they started to make it easier for people to get. And I was like, you know what? That kind of like I don't know if I like that. I want it to be difficult. I want it to be a pinnacle thing. The only problem with it is also it's a competitive game, and so the people that do get these weapons are freaking gods at the game, and then the weapons are freaking overpowered too. And then it's like you can't even play against them.
It's the same principle that I always thought was
like co-op games, whatever. Fuck that. Yeah. Like make me overpowered. Let's do it.
I do wonder if it would be easier if I had like actual people I'm playing this game with. Like they would have to need to be pretty well versed with the game. I couldn't just like throw my brother or my wife on, but because there's
a computer is good, but having a like actual human is always better. I
mean,
not always, but it's usually better.
Yeah, they're good, and they're pretty good, but I think they also like get like a like damage resistance buff or something. They definitely don't die, like although they do in this one occasionally, but they don't completely die too often on their own. Of course, and the part where it goes south, if you played like any of the Black Order enemies in this game, is the Obsidian Cull, the big like hulking dude. He's the worst because he has like an insta kill thing. Like I don't even. It's again level 100, insta kills can happen. So whatever, but it's a goal. So
it's giving you some longevity at least.
Yeah, and this is an absolutely fantastic free update. Like, make no mistake. Like it's free. It's a lot. So it's pretty cool that
way. They could
just
give you skins and it would have been great. But yeah. All right. Let's get into our news. Kicking us off here, I think we'll kick off with the Telltale Games, not revival, but properties being purchased now by LCG Entertainment, and so like they have the rights to of Wolf Among Us, Batman, and they're going to be remaking. They're going to be making these games.
Puzzle Agent.
Yeah, under their.
Well, maybe making these games.
Yeah. So they actually went and they bought these properties from them, though, so they can do this. So I'm not reporting that Telltale Games has been revived because that was originally reported, and it's not. These are not the same people. These are not the same. It's just the.
They
properties.
did, which is weird. They did offer the employees of Telltale freelance positions if they would want to come back.
Fuck that, dude.
Interesting. I didn't even know they did that, to be honest with you.
I think they're gonna. What about because Telltale was known for having the same 5 or so voice actors. You think they're gonna bring them back?
I don't know about that. They did say that they're gonna focus on making sure that the engine is reworked.
Fuck that. Don't believe their lies. Fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Before Telltale went down, we were all complaining about how it was just churning out these.
I mean,
it had too many properties. Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, right now it means nothing other than sure, maybe another Telltale style game will come out, but
I don't know about that. I think they're going to use those IPs they bought. I think you're probably going to see some spiritual or sort of half sequels to those things now.
The only thing I hope for is maybe there'll be another Tales from the Borderlands game, but anything else I don't really care about.
Yeah. No. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think the Batman story was unfinished, and it would be cool to see them do. But
what about Wolf Among Us?
Wolf Among Us. Yeah.
Clearly, I would like to see a sequel. To
that was in development.
I'm not holding my breath for that. Yeah, that should be along the way at some point. But yeah. So
I think the other thing that they mentioned was that they were going to try to optimize and be more consistent with the release of the episodes. We kind of talked about this in the movie cast. With these episodic content style thing, you can't have a game that's an hour long, an episode or whatever, an hour long worth of playtime, and then go for 3 months without any.
Yeah, you need faster turnaround time. Yeah, that was killing them.
I would love to see them to put out a game that's 5 chapters and have it done in 2 months or 3 months, just every other week or something like that. Just have these things out. Why not do it that way? Except they develop all this time, and obviously. It comes down to crunch and stuff, obviously. But at the same time, just get it all done. Get it all done and then space it out however you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, all right. Let's see what else we got here. Blizzard is substantially increasing the World of Warcraft Classic servers for the capacities because queue times have been crazy. I mean, this has been caught up already, but there's thousands of people in a queue when you're going in there. I remember being hundreds in queue and being, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not playing right now.
I mean, tens of thousands of people in the queue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My coworker said, I think my coworker said he was 9,000 seconds or something before he could get in, and then he had
9,000 minutes.
Minutes, yeah, some crazy, whatever it was, yeah, it was some crazy number. He's well, I guess I'm not playing tonight. So it was just it's ridiculous. Obviously, like you said, it's been a little bit better, but but they definitely were not prepared for the.
No, they weren't. They were not. Nobody was. I can't believe Nick's playing this. I was talking to him a little bit on the phone, and I'm like, all right, what you're actually, he's farming. He's doing all that stuff. He's level 18 when I talk to him. So, playing on the Horde. But, I don't know. I remember the rage.
Feeling the pull?
No, I mean, I remember the only drive for me would be show these kids how to play this game. But
the kids. I don't know how many kids are playing it. I think it's more, older people.
Nostalgia. I mean, I have to imagine.
It's funny though, because my brother's texting me, and the other day he texted me. He's like, "Yo, can you do me a favor?" And I'm like, "What's up?" I was thinking it was an actual emergency or something. He's like, "Could you log into my account and turn in these quests and then just get me back to the Undercity because I didn't log out in an inn and I want to get that rest XP." And I'm just like. Okay, that is way lower than I thought. I thought you're gonna have me pick something up, drop something off, whatever. I was like, I could do that. That's fine. But it's come on, man. This is the addiction level we're going to now. It's I need to level up. Need to level up a little faster. Come on. I need to get that rest XP. And I'm not even gonna lie. Just playing that for 10 minutes to hand in the quest and go back. I'm just it's this is how it feels again. Yeah, I saw, because he's on a PvP server. I saw he's horror, so I saw this alliance. I was like,
kill them.
Maybe just want to kill him. I don't know. So like,
I mean, the thing about the like WoW too is, you're getting your crew back together and stuff like that.
The band is back together.
Yeah, it's like that. There's a lot to that. Games bringing people together again, I think, is a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that's a lot of people are doing that.
So, yeah. What else do we have? Yeah, good for them. We have other what?
No, I was just gonna say like we're coming close to BlizzCon. They have to say like, Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 are coming, right? Like that's.
Yeah. I expect both of those announcements this year.
They have to, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this last year was such a fucking shit show. Yeah.
I think
It's
so.
nothing.
I think so. Yeah, they have to. What else we have here? Where's the news? Okay. We have some it's tragic news. I mean, you heard about the Night in the Woods fiasco, not fiasco, but tragedy and / accusation. Like the creator of Night in the Woods developer has died. He was accused of sexual assault, and I guess he got like shamed like crazy for it, and then he was already like very mentally unstable. Yeah, and apparently that just like. I don't know if that was the end of it, but that was the thing that pushed him over. But it was a lot of things. It's very sad to hear that he that happened. I mean, Night in the Woods. I never played that game, but it is.
I heard really good things about it.
Tragic end to the. Yeah, I mean, it was mid-Saturday. His sister posted that, so sad day. I don't know. They had. I guess there was there a couple of accusations on this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was.
I mean, his sister even said the guy was kind of like not the greatest person.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's never cool to see someone just take their own life because.
No, it's not. Yeah, you don't want to see that. It's just, so.
No, and like the thing is, like whatever. I don't think he's innocent or anything like that, but yeah, no. I mean, seeing somebody do that is pretty terrible. But then also, like, now it's just kind of like, in a way, it's could make other people like hesitant on coming forward because I mean, like, you could say whatever you want, but like now, like that person that came out, I think it was Zoe, like, has to feel like somewhat, indirectly responsible for that, and that's a shitty thing to have like on your conscience, like.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Like, he abused me. I said something.
You were the victim. Himself. Yeah, you were the victim, and then you said something, and then yes, he killed himself. Yeah. That's,
right,
I mean,
so
it's, yeah. It's not. It's definitely not an.
And not that
good situation.
And it's just the internet mob mentality that people have is crazy because like there's no information either way. Not saying like he's a good person or anything because he's obviously seems like something's wrong with him, and he probably was a terrible person in some capacity, but like this the attacks on somebody, like you don't have like people just because they're anonymous, they just say whatever the shit they want. And it's like they attack people, you can defame them, you can do whatever you want because it doesn't affect you in any way, but it is affecting other people. And like you said, your actions to cause this guy's actions will now affect the person who's left behind because they have to deal with this shit that happened because of things that you've done. And it's like people don't think that, they don't think about that, they just think, oh, I'm just gonna do blah 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 because whatever. Like they don't think what the consequences of their actions are. And I'm not saying that this guy was innocent. I'm just saying that
no, it didn't sound like he was, but it's just
the mob mentality like caused him to snap to a point where he could not handle it and he took his life. And like you were saying, like that is going to now affect the person who was coming out to say these things, and it's all because people just don't know how to like look things up and like think before they speak. Essentially.
Yep. Okay. What else do we have? Homeworld 3 confirmed to be in production. Now, Gearbox is fundraising for this game.
They're doing the fig thing.
Yeah, and so this is going towards the Borderlands 3 development.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so.
It's an alien joke, but yeah, I don't know. I'm actually pretty psyched because I liked Homeworld quite a lot when I was like playing on PC. Like I actually played that on PC.
Did you guys watch it in the Gearbox showcase on PAX? Their camera's blurry like crazy there, Tony.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. There it goes. There it goes. It's zoomed.
You try to get that blur effect, that background, and just do the whole thing.
Yeah.
There was a big announcement on their PAX panel they had at PAX West. that they were going to do Homeworld 3, and
it
seems like they're getting everybody back. It sounds like to do it, which is really cool. And then they're going to utilize the Fig platform to help produce it. And they were saying, it's not going to be made. It's going to be made. They're just going to give people the opportunity to. And this obviously it could be spin, but I like the spin. I'll accept it.
It's Gearbox. Corey accepts it. Gives him a lot of leeway. No, I'm just saying.
I like that they're saying like this will give you the ability to watch the game develop and be a part of the development process and see how it comes along and influence what is going to be coming. So I like that because
as long as they follow through with that.
Kickstarter component. Kickstarter is my jam, and so to see them do it like this is interesting because I do believe that this game does not get made without this. So
yeah. I'm interested in this actually, despite my lack of PC gaming, just because I loved the first two games so much when I was younger. So I did really enjoy Homeworld and Homeworld 2. So I don't know. I'll be following that a little bit and interested in trying it. There it is. See, certain games can get me to play on PC, but I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not saying I haven't thought about installing WoW. I'm just saying I'm not doing it yet. I control it. Anyways, lastly on the news, former Nintendo of America president Reggie, we all know Reggie, has a new job. He's teaching actually at Cornell University. He's a professor teaching business. Interesting. I didn't know. I thought he would go like to another company. I really did. I thought he would go try his experience someplace else.
I mean, you're basically at the top of your game there. You're just going sideways if you do that.
I mean, Pizza Hut could use him back.
We need the bigger New York.
We need the bigger. But I just
did any of you guys check out the Cyberpunk deep dive videos and stuff?
I did not. The interesting part about
thinking about it.
The interesting part about it was like I guess it seems more customizable than they originally said. Is that what I'm saying?
I actually consciously avoided it because I do want to go into this game more on the side of not knowing as much as I can. Yeah,
I mean that's why I'm not really getting too much into it, but I know blurbs I saw were about a little bit more customizing.
I think if it was coming out in a month or two, I would start looking at this stuff, but it's still like 5 months away, so I'll wait a little.
Yep. Also got Nintendo Direct on.
Nintendo Direct tomorrow. So. Yeah, my thing I've been like
today. When you listen to this, it'll be today.
I can mention that now and here. Actually, the Gamecast. I'm looking forward to. Apple's got their update coming up soon, and I have to say that my phone has been such garbage. I think I talked about it. Tony, was I talking about this with you? I don't know if you were still there when I was talking about this. I know I was talking around the campfire, but my phone has been such garbage that I've considered even updating just to 13.1. On the beta, because they're actually beta testing 13.1 before 13's out, which is unprecedented. They've never done a beta test where they've gone to do a 0.1 revision before the original's out yet. Just showing how fucked up their OS is. It's not ready to be launched, this iOS 13. But my phone has been like crashing every other app right now. And then like my cell coverage I thought has been pretty shitty. So I didn't even remember this from back in the day. Apparently the Intel chip modems are terrible. Like they have like really bad cell receptions. Now people are saying it's overplayed, and that's not the case. But I'm telling you, this phone has far less. I got this replaced. Remember I mentioned that? This is far worse cell coverage than I've seen. But anyway, so their conference is coming up, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do. But I heard they're sticking with Intel still with this generation, so I'm not sure I'm going to stick. I don't think I'm going to upgrade. But anyways, we got the Nintendo Direct, and we'll see what comes out for that. They're going to Luigi's Mansion 3. What else? Pokemon Sword and Shield. Yep. I'm sure there's it's a 40-minute direct, so it's a pretty long direct. So it'll be pretty meaty, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be a Pokemon and Luigi's Mansion, but there'll be some surprises. There always are. Fall is like the big one past E3, obviously, because it's kind of timed pretty nicely.
Maybe there's some Zelda stuff out.
Yeah,
this month.
I like it. Zelda. I thought you meant Breath of the Wild 2. That would be.
No. I don't think they're gonna show that for a while.
No, but I forget her name, but basically the wife of the Xenoblade Chronicle series director retweeted the announcement, so that most likely means that Monolith Soft's going to show off something.
No.
Whether could be a port of like one of the,
Collections,
it could be
or-
collection, or maybe their all new game. Which I think it's about that right time, because Chronicles 2 came out 2 years ago now, so they would at least have to start showing their new game if it were to come out, the 3-year mark.
Yeah. So, all right. Now let's get into our topic. Ratings, game reviews. I mean, are they relevant?
Didn't we do this already?
No.
We did the influencers.
We did influencers. Are they relevant?
No, I think we did this a longer time ago.
Well,
I don't know.
Now we can do an update on it.
Well, we did it for the movies, Mike, so we're going to do it for the games. So, movies came across as actually the word of mouth is more important nowadays than the reviews themselves. And I think that's the same. I'm going to kick us off saying I think it's the same way with games. I know reviews are really good for God of War. The God of War is a perfect example of this because I would never play this game. Reviews are really good, and I was like, I don't play that kind of game. And then like word of mouth was so good too, and I'm like, okay, together, like I guess I got to check this game out. It was fantastic. I'm glad I played it, but like, I very rarely even like. Most places drop review scores, right? They don't even score games anymore. They give you opinion pieces.
I wouldn't say most people.
No, I think
They still give
places
scores?
you scores.
a few little edgelord sites do that, but
Oh, okay.
I think most of them.
But I mean, is the score relevant?
You
Do
want to
care
get
about
on
the score?
Metacritic or OpenCritic, you got to review
Is the score relevant? Do you care about your score?
I think, and I remember doing this conversation. I think we did this before, but I think the difference between games and movies makes a difference here. I think there's some more tangible things that are more subjective.
See,
or
Mike,
objective.
we've had conversations. I don't think we've ever had a topic for it. But go on.
The thing I think, I don't want to jump in here too much, but with games specifically, it is much more important to the developers of a game how they review than it is, I'd say, let's say, to a movie. I don't know if that's true or not. Like,
Don't publishers give bonuses for scores or something like that? Isn't that
They did. I'm not sure if they do anymore because there was
a lot of shit for that?
Yeah, because I forget what game was it.
Well,
But they missed
Battlefront.
Fallout. No, it was Fallout
No,
in Vegas.
I think it was. It might have been Andromeda.
Oh, maybe it was Andromeda. Well,
Nobody gives a shit about.
we're all
it.
throwing out 3 different games. Though I thought Star Wars Battlefront 2, because they were complaining that the reviews tanked because of the
No,
stuff.
I could see Battlefront doing it, but I'm telling you, I'm like 99% sure the big one was when New Vegas came out.
Okay.
They missed it by like 1 or 2 points, and the whole company didn't get bonuses because of it.
I
I'll
don't
look it
think they were that close.
Or maybe it wasn't. I'll look it up.
New Vegas you're talking about?
New Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a wild-
I don't know. I mean,
I've never done that since.
Isn't it the same thing with movies, though? Isn't it more important about the streamers we talked about and the word of mouth from people than it is about what a reviewer gives the game?
Here we go.
First
Hold
of
on,
all,
hold on. March 15th, 2012. Obsidian missed Fallout New Vegas Metacritic bonus by 1 point.
Yep.
No, I think they've done it since then, though. It's not like that's been.
I'm not talking about since then. I'm just saying there
It
was a
definitely
big
has happened.
example.
Yeah. Definitely happened with that game. I think it's happened beyond that game too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, again, but I do think it's different than movies. You go to see a movie, you just see it, and you don't. It's very subjective. It's like if you want like the worst movies in the world are entertaining to certain people, or if that's what you want. There's comedies that never really get reviewed well. There's action movies that never get reviewed well, and there's a huge disconnect. Like, let's say the Game Awards, they're mostly highly critically acclaimed games in there, and then compare that to the Oscars, where no one gives a fuck about.
but those
any
are
of
critically
those
acclaimed
high-
movies.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's my point.
Oh,
So the review scores matter more in games because people are more analytical, first of all, as gamers, and there's more to break down mechanics-wise, functionality, and people still pay attention to the scores. That's why it's scored in most places. You don't really get scores as frequently. I mean, you do now because of Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that.
mentioned
but-
Rotten Tomatoes, yeah. But I think that was like the key. Like Rotten Tomatoes does count nowadays, whereas the reviews don't. Rotten Tomatoes and social media count for movies, and it's a similar.
Rotten Tomatoes are just.
It's collaborate. Yes. It draws them all in, but it's a matter of like. I don't know. I think
Rotten
that
Tomatoes isn't a review, and I don't want to get into it, but it's not a fucking review. I don't know. We've definitely had that conversation multiple times
No,
before.
it's not a review. It's a gathering of reviews, and they make their own thing.
I'm not getting into Rotten Tomatoes. It's how positive it's being seen. We already talked. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Games. So yeah, I think that, like I said, for me, I think that I see on Twitter how awesome it is, and it's the same thing with movies, because people now have the means to get their opinion out. Just everybody gets their opinion out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's everywhere. There's Reset Era forums. I mean, they're everywhere. They can post their opinions of a game. I feel like the reviews aren't as important as it is about, because if somebody they
aren't as important as maybe 20 years ago.
Let's take Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 got reviewed incredibly well, but it was already before it actually hit the shelves. People were already posting how much of a shit show that ending was. We were starting to hear about it before we got to it, and that's because the people were talking about it, but the reviewers were not. And I think that from that point on, for me, I follow more of what people are saying about the thing than reviewers. So I mean that's a perfect game as an example for what
that's
I'm
a perfect example to me why I still follow reviewers, because I think Mass Effect 3 is a great game until the end, but I think overall it's a great game.
I think technically it's a great game. I think technically it's a great game.
That's where it's hard to.
That's subjective, though.
Yeah, it's hard to say that this one aspect, separating it from everything else that are you trying to review what this is, or are you trying to review this entire thing?
Well, that's what I mean, though, about reviews. It's more analytical. You break down parts and stuff, and if 90% of a game is good and then the ending is
But here's the thing: even if that were to be taken at face value, the fact that almost no reviewers even mentioned it, hey, you know what? I like the ending, but I could see this not going over too well with some people. Nobody even mentioned it. Is what was
Some did, but
yeah.
In factor.
Are you just saying that, or do you actually know?
Go ahead and look for the reviews.
You look. You're the one claiming this.
I mean, maybe one or two people might have said something in general, the endings is not what I was expecting, but overall this game is fantastic. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're talking about today, and what's relevant today, and because
10 years ago here we're talking.
What you're saying, Jim, with the instant access and the ability to have anybody can be a reviewer, anybody can be a critic.
YouTube.
It doesn't
anybody
matter.
can have a YouTube channel. Yes.
So in that regard, reviewers are diminished, but everybody has an opinion and everyone
has reviews anyway.
Right.
It doesn't matter if they're professional or not. So, they throw a score and opinion on it anyway. It's just different people, although it's really all of them together.
And for me, I think I like to look at reviews to kind of see where people, the mindset of people that are playing these games, and constantly playing different games all the time. Where are they at? I know Tony likes a certain style of game. I know you like a certain style of game, Jim.
Yeah.
So I know if Tony's gonna want a platinum game. The platinum game's coming out. This is gonna be really great and it's awesome. I'm just gonna assume Tony's probably gonna like it. I'm gonna know this is happening. Whereas reviewers that play multiple games, they don't get to really delve into games too much. It's interesting to see where their mind's at certain levels and say wow, this actually intrigued me enough to want to put more time in it, to want to play it more, and I'm going to give it whatever score. But that to me tells me a little bit more than, let's say, because I already know what people like. I want to know what people that don't have time to put in the games now I want to play this game more.
This we have talked about before, where it's do you have a reviewer that wants to play the game or a reviewer that doesn't want to play the game? That we talked about similar things. But that's the thing. Do you want them to deep dive into the game? Somebody who's gonna for you, Corey, you'd be clamoring to review Borderlands 3, but I don't think you should be reviewing Borderlands 3. So these reviewers,
it wouldn't be objective.
No, but these reviewers, that's the point. These reviewers, I think having the limited window they have, I'm defending them here, which is crazy because I'm talking about how reviewers are important. But I think that their opinion, this is probably the best way we can get from a reviewer rather than somebody who wants to really play the game and dive
So
into it.
if there's someone, a streamer or a YouTuber who gets free copies or like ad revenue,
they have to,
and they get sponsored, are they a reviewer now, or are they?
No, they're not a reviewer. They're an influencer.
But they still get paid to cover a game.
Well, reviewers aren't getting paid by the company that's their review. That's the difference there. It's like if you're reviewing a game, you're not getting paid by, let's say, Gearbox to review Borderlands 3. You're getting paid to preview the game.
And if you're a YouTuber, you're not getting paid by that company either. You're getting paid by ad revenue from YouTube, Google Ads.
Sometimes. No. I mean, sometimes you're getting paid directly to play the game.
Well, that's true. Then they're supposed to disclose that as sponsor, but that's still, they're still. Are they not professionals now?
They're not reviewing the game. They're just playing it, dude. Like, that's the difference. And that's why influencers, for the most part, are important.
Sometimes they do review it as well.
No, I think they give their opinion, but I guess it's a review.
They can't call it a review. They have to call it opinion, though.
Yeah, and I think...
unless they say.
But I think they're more important to a game sales than a reviewer is. We were talking about dollars in the movie side. I mean, same thing with games. I think influencers and, like, word of mouth is more important than reviews.
Right, and that's what I would say. I would agree with that because, like I said, I mean, nobody really cares for the textual reviews anymore. Like, I mean, you could talk about, like, writing like a 2,000, 3,000 word review is great and all. You get screenshots and video clips of the gameplay, whatever. That's cool and all, but like most people, they're not interested in that anymore. Like, it's a dying art form, if you want to call it that. It doesn't matter. And ultimately, these days, like, there's a plethora of games to choose from, and review score nowadays. I mean, like, take any average month, and you have plenty of games that are like 8 to 9 range, 7 to 8 range. I mean, at some point, just like you're just choosing between 8. Like, what's the difference between 8.1 and 8.2? Really, like, I mean, if anybody could definitively tell me what the difference between those two things are, like, I would love to know.
Well, that's the other thing, because people don't want to read a bunch, but they do look for numbers. And people, every time someone reviews something that they don't like, you see these huge, like, controversies about, oh, this reviewer, like, didn't give Zelda a 10 like everyone else did. What's wrong with him? Or, stuff like that. So obviously that like 8 to like 8 range or whatever, no one cares about that because that's like default. But if there's an exceptional score, if you get 10, if you see a bunch of 10s somewhere, that's where you get your God of Wars, your Last of Us, is these games that draw people in who maybe wouldn't play that genre. That's something. Or if you see something like 7 or lower that you expect it to be, the standard 8 good enough, then that's another sort of controversy, like, your Andromedas or 76s and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, reviews can absolutely help or hurt to a degree, and you missed the movie cast, Mike, so I'm not going to hold it against you. But I mean, the thing is, like, there's a certain range that these things are going to do, for the most part, on average. Like a big name title, like an Uncharted series, it's going to sell millions of copies. Like a great review from like a good review, and correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't played the games, but like I think Uncharted 3 was probably the least critically acclaimed one, right?
No, actually, that was very critically acclaimed.
Yeah, that was
compared to 2?
Yeah.
Like 2, I remember getting like 10s across the board.
No, absolutely, but like there was a lot of reviewers that loved 3.
Yeah, 3 was like a masterpiece to them. Yeah.
And that was my surprise.
Or was it 4 that was...
No, surprise. Like, unfortunately, Uncharted is always getting critically acclaimed.
It's the Naughty Dog bump.
Naughty Dog can take a shit and it'll get a 10. That is another thing that is
I think Greg Miller gave Uncharted a 3 out of 10. So.
Oh god, jeez. All right, so maybe Uncharted's a bad example, but they're just like, all right, Mario, or it's like, for the most part, Mario games, for the most part, it's like, 8.5, maybe like 8.9 or something like that, maybe 9. But like when something like Odyssey comes out, or the Galaxy games back on the Wii, and they're getting like 10s, like, yeah, it can boost something up from like, we'll say like 5 to 7 million to like 7 to 10 million, something like that, which is great for the company, but I mean, for the consumer, it's like whatever. Or obviously a really bad score could hurt something more. It's like, go back to like Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, I mean, that game is dead on arrival. Or Anthem, that was dead on arrival. Still dead.
That's a good point.
No idea what's going on with that game. So, yeah, I mean, it can absolutely help or hurt. But I would say that for the most part...
But that's still done by word of mouth, too. Yeah, like, okay.
Right, it's word of mouth. And that's what it is. People want to know what, like, their favorite streamers are doing.
Cricket noise.
There's a cricket next to somebody here. So...
That's weird.
All right.
Anyway, I think bad reviews hurt more than good reviews help.
Yeah.
So.
For sure, but I know that when there's uncertainty, like say the God of War reboot, I think the great reviews absolutely help that.
Mm-hmm. No, sure.
Yeah. Once you reach that, like I would say 994 and above, it absolutely helps because those games are few and far between. You look at God of War, you look at Legend of Zelda, you look at Last of Us, even Red Dead Redemption 2 last year. I mean, once you reach a certain threshold, yeah, you're golden. But I mean, those games typically are like AAA blockbuster. Like it doesn't even matter. Like that game was going to sell.
The difference here for me, I think, with movies and with games reviews, I don't necessarily think like in movies there's movies that are review proof, like we talk about critic proof, that you're gonna see no matter what. Games, I don't believe that's true because I think the big games that we know are good already are getting those good reviews.
If there's a AAA game,
Red Dead Redemption,
you expect it to be over an 8.
Red Dead Redemption 2, how about that one? That got incredibly good scores.
Yeah,
but it's definitely
and it sold incredibly well.
Yeah,
but it got those scores.
But I think that was on its.
A lot of other people didn't like it.
I think it was on its name, not on the review score. Maybe it was on the review scores, but that game was not good. Like it was very lacking. It's a horse simulator.
I don't know if I'd go that.
It's okay, I'm not saying it's not.
I would.
I'm not gonna say not. I'm gonna say it was not a game of the year candidate in my opinion.
It had shitty interface.
The reviews it was getting did not deserve. How about that?
According to you, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not talking simulator. That still it sold very well and it reviewed very well.
So you're saying
I'm talking about like
you're saying the reviewers do influence that.
Fast and Furious is not getting 9s out of 10s. Like that movie's
right, but I mean,
Transformers is not getting 9s out of 10s.
I mean, again, like that's what I was saying. Like all I'm saying is reviews matter more in the video game space than the movie space, without question to me.
Yeah. Maybe
and,
you're right.
Games that deserve to be shit on, like Anthem, got bad reviews. Like you're not getting those your like critic proof games. Like BioWare's making a new game. Oh yeah, everybody's buying that no matter what. It comes out with terrible reviews. Nobody's buying it. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it goes back to like I mean, for most games, we'll just take the average AAA published game, third-party published game. It's going to be $60. Most consumers are going to be like, well, let me make sure I'm spending my hard-earned money on something that's going to be good rather than a movie. Because it's like, I've seen plenty of bad movies where like, I know going, it's like, all right, I know this is probably going to suck or this is not going to be enjoyable for me, but, date, friends, whoever wants to go see this.
It's definitely more of a value like equation games.
Yeah. Right, exactly. But no, I would say that reviews aren't totally unimportant, but I think you definitely need people to enjoy your game and talking about your game and watching the game because I mean you just look and I think actually one news I didn't put on there I think Ninja and Microsoft are just doing a deal with he's going to be doing something with Gears 5 like the first time ever. I saw like a blip. I didn't click on it to read it fully, but I know they're exploring some new stuff with Gears 5 exclusivity, maybe stream or something like that, debut, I don't know. But it just, and you look at like, we'll go back to like earlier this year with Apex Legends. EA spent all their marketing budget just paying people to stream that game because they just wanted to show it off and get people buzzed. Like, oh yeah, that looks cool. Like, I want to play that. Like, streamers getting paid to play fucking video games.
I think that's what we're switching into. Yeah.
Right, that's more of a marketing tool than paying reviewers.
Yeah, I think that's what we're moving into. Maybe we're not there yet, as we're saying, but I think moving forward, we're going to be less and less on reviews.
And there are like Ninja, for example, is like become a celebrity. Like he's a celebrity now, and he's got a shoe deal. Like that's how high up he's at. He's on the same level as NBA basketball players at this point, like if not higher on a lot of them, and so. Yeah, if you're getting people like that to, play your game or to whatever, like, wear your shoes and, these role models that kids look up to, they want to be like, then yeah, they're going to be more inclined to play that game or to wear that shoe or shirt or whatever. So, yeah, I think that, gamers in general are becoming much more in the spotlight themselves where,
I think so.
You don't get, there are reviews for shoes and stuff, but like you're selling shoes because people are wearing them that you look up to.
Right.
You're buying it.
I mean, like if somebody like Ninja or PewDiePie or who unfortunately PewDiePie, if they stream themselves playing a game, like Dr. Disrespect, all that shit, like that game is gonna get you know, some clicks,
yeah.
some downloads, some purchase and stuff like that, because people will be like, oh, like I saw that, it looked really cool, that looked really fun, and I want in on that.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunately the reality of it these days.
Yeah. All right. I think that's gonna wrap up this episode of the Gamecast. Like I said, see, Mike, we have plenty to talk about with that. There's a lot of stuff. If we talked about this before, we're sorry, everybody, but there's plenty to hash out still. I think we've talked about this on the Gamecast before, but never dove into it, so I hope you enjoyed that.
The landscape is always changing, too. I mean, even from 5 years ago. Well,
as we just said, I really think influencers are going to be taking over that role from, if they're not there already, they're going to be, they're the more powerful. I mean, look where the marketing dollars are going, behind the influencers, not looking at reviewing companies. There's less and less reviewing companies out there nowadays because the Twitch and YouTube are more important.
Right, exactly. I mean, the money that Microsoft spent to get Ninja on Mixer, $50 million. They could have staffed like their own fucking review company and like just had like, Microsoft Informer or Micro Gamer or something like that, and just been like, oh look, all these Microsoft games, 10 out of 10s. Like, there you go. Like, you can't buy that.
Yep. All right, that's going to wrap up 462 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to us. Thank you. We appreciate it. See you next week.